Hello everyone and welcome back to Hippie Flower Girl. So today we are going to talk about the magical experience that comes with eating certain types of mushrooms. If you know what I'm talking about, you know, but if you don't, please do not snitch on me. Yeah, I'm just going to quickly say something before I get into this video in case you don't watch the entire video. These are important things. For your first experience, do not have more than 2 grams. You can always do more later on, but please, for the first time, no more than 2 grams. Okay. Secondly, fast for 4 to 6 hours beforehand so that your stomach is not weird and uncomfortable. Next, if you're under the age of 20, please hold off. You don't need to do this right now. When you are older, it's going to be much nicer. We don't want to break your brain. Do not take anything called APE or PE. One thing, mushrooms cannot kill you. The amount that you need to eat for it to be able to actually kill you is quite significant. But it will convince you that it can kill you if you do not respect it. First time, take it during the day. It's much easier on your mental health. It lasts about 4 to 6 hours, so prepare for that. If it doesn't work the first time, wait 2 weeks so your tolerance can reset and then up it by 0.5 grams. Do not jump a whole gram or 2 extra grams. It is exponentially stronger the more you take. Mushrooms are an old entity. They have been on this planet far longer than we have, so you must respect them. If you do not respect them, they will knock you on your ass. They will knock you. Okay, now that I've got the warnings out the way and the most important information, now we're going to delve into the nitty-gritty details. So,
editing Simi here. Sorry, there is some background noise and stuff in my video. If you hear people talking, it's my husband in a meeting, and if you hear scratching or bumping of the mic, it's because I put the mic on my dress and I kept bumping it because I move around and I talk with my hands. So I'm really sorry about that, but I didn't want to refilm this whole thing. So yeah.
Set and setting. Set your mindset. Let's look at your physical health. So a few days before your trip, I would highly recommend eating healthy, minimally processed food, drinking a lot of water, and getting some exercise in. This will fuel your body so that your body has enough energy to deal with the experience because it is quite taxing. Then, the day of, I would suggest fasting for 4 to 6 hours beforehand, just so that your stomach doesn't hurt and you don't have that nausea, because that can sometimes come with certain mushrooms. As well as wear your most comfortable clothing, clothes that you feel good in, clothes that fit you, clothes that are comfortable. That is a very important part. If you are sick or tired, do not take them. You can always wait another day when you are better. Please do not take them. It will make for a really bumpy ride. Now, let's talk about your mental. As I said before, I highly suggest not taking mushrooms before the age of 20. Yes, in some countries you are Yes, in some countries you are a legal adult, but you need those 2 years of experience in the real world, in life, to be able to deal with this. I don't want to break your brains. I don't want you to feel terrible or jump into this kind of thing when you're not ready. So just wait. You have your entire life to do this. Don't do it too soon. Now let's take a look at your mental state. The mushrooms will amplify what you are feeling. So if you have anxiety or depression, please look at your anxiety and depression levels because the mushrooms will amplify it. Now, I'm not saying you have to be completely cured from your anxiety or your depression, but it needs to be at a low enough level that if the mushrooms do amplify it, you are able to handle it. Mushrooms tend to be really nice to first-timers. I have been around and facilitated many mushroom experiences for newbies, and none of them have had a bad experience. But the more you delve into this world, the higher the chance of your bad experiences if you do not put in the work. I just want to get into another point before we continue to setting. If you are an avid herb enjoyer, I would highly recommend not indulging in the herb at least 2 to 3 hours beforehand so that you are completely sober when you do take the mushrooms. And I would say do not indulge in the herb when the experience starts or when you're at the height of the experience. I would say when you are coming down like 4 hours after eating the mushrooms, then you are welcome to smoke. It helps for introspection. It helps to bring you back into your body and make you feel a little bit normal. And then also another thing, if you are on antidepressants or if your antidepressant is an SSRI, then it will nullify or weaken the experience. So I'm not giving any medical advice, but it could be beneficial to stop taking the SSRIs for a few days before the experience. Okay, now let's talk about our setting, our environment. I'm going to have a few things that I'm going to talk about. First, we are going to look at whether experiencing this by yourself, experiencing this with friends, or experiencing this with someone to look after you. If you are taking it with somebody who has experience and they are going to be looking after you, then I would highly suggest them taking less than what you are, just so that they're a bit more in control and that they can help you if needed, and that they can also provide advice and they can be like the adult in the room to help you with this. If you are taking it with friends and everybody else is having the same experience, that could be a wonderful time. It can be so magical, fun, and full of bonding. But you do have to make sure that you trust these people 100%, that you feel comfortable around them, that you can be yourself around them, that you won't get judged or laughed at. That is the most important part. If you are doing it in a group setting, I would also suggest that maybe one person stays sober so that they can just look after the group, monitor noise levels, monitor weirdness. You know, if somebody is going to have like a bad experience, that also helps that person can also help them. If you don't have anybody who can look after you or you don't have any friends who do this kind of thing, you can always do it by yourself. I would like just think about who you are as a person. If you are somebody that depends on other people a lot, if you are somebody that's quite sociable but doesn't like being alone, this could be a bit much for you. But if you love being alone, if you're comfortable with your own thoughts, if you can manage your anxiety by yourself, then by all means, do it by yourself. I personally prefer to do it when I'm alone because I can just be who I am. I don't have to worry about other people. I don't have to look after them. I can just enjoy the experience. But it is quite a bit more introspective. Also, when you do it alone, nobody will be able to help you. So preparing is absolutely key. My next video will look at how I prepare for an experience like this, and maybe you can find some tips to help you as well. So let's look at the time of day. So you can either choose to do it during the day as a first experience. I would highly suggest doing it in the day, or you can do it at night. So if you're doing it in the day, it is very colorful, very vibrant. You have like the things that you see morph. You get maybe like a pattern overlay. You will see things breathe and change. It is a lot less taxing on the mind, so that's why I recommend it for first timers, just because you don't want to just jump into the deep end. You need to learn how to swim first. It is also less overwhelming because you have so much stimuli around you, so you can focus on that rather than focus on what's going on in your head. Whereas a night experience, I love a night experience, but it is very introspective. It can be very taxing on the brain because there is not much stimuli left. So your brain is trying to figure out what's going on. It's a lot more taxing on your mental. It's very introspective because there's less stimuli, because there's less light. Your brain gets bored, so the visuals are a bit stronger, and also your introspection is a bit stronger because your brain is bored. Night trips can also be a bit more calming and peaceful because people are asleep or they're busy with their own thing. If you have people that depend on you or people that call you often and that need your help, maybe a night trip would be better for you because you won't be disturbed. in the middle of the night. So let's look at indoor trips versus outdoor trips. I recommend doing both, like having the option to be outside and to be inside, but everybody's circumstances are different. So let's look at the difference between being inside versus outside. So inside trips, because you are protected from the world around you, it is quite a bit safer. You don't have the public looking at you and judging you. You don't have that extra stress of people around you. So that could be very helpful. If you live with your parents and they don't know that you are going on this experience, do not take it if they're at home, because it will increase your anxiety. You might do something strange or weird and your parents are going to ask you about it, and then there might be trouble for you. So do it alone at home or with friends where everybody, if your parents are chill with it, oh, wonderful, then you are lucky. I would also suggest, if you are doing it inside, to set up like a little bit of a nest for yourself. So have like on your couch or in your bed, just make sure your blankets are clean, you have blankets, because mushrooms can mess with your temperature a bit, like your internal temperature. You can feel really hot or really cold, so just have those things close by to help you mitigate that weird temperature fluctuation. Have water close by. I would recommend for a first time, no screens. You can always do this again and see what it's like with screens. So no TVs, no cell phones, no computers. If you want to listen to music on your cell phone, by all means do it. I personally don't like to listen to music. It always sounds distorted and weird, and it takes me out of the experience. But maybe music works for you, so try it out. Also, I would suggest, if you're doing it in an indoor space, clean up. Wipe the counters, sweep the floor, put away anything that's going to remind you of what you need to do, like washing, dirty dishes, work-related things. Have it out of your view. Because when you see it, it might trigger things like, oh, I still need to do that, I still need to do that, why am I doing this? Because I still need to do that. And that can increase your anxiety. And tidy up a bit, and you can change your space to make it look more visually appealing, but don't change it too much so that you don't feel like this is your space. If you're outdoors for your first time, I highly recommend having somebody with you. They don't have to partake. They can be sober with you and just look after you, because when you're having this experience, it's very difficult to distinguish between what is normal and what is weird. And having somebody who has both feet in reality can help you with that. They'll be able to tell you, hey dude, you're really loud, maybe you want to just drop the volume a bit, or hey dude, you can't run around on the grass in the park and giggle your head off, we're gonna think we're crazy. So just to like reel you in, because you are in a public space and there are going to be people around you. You don't want to weird them out and have them call the cops on you or anything like that. I would then suggest as well going to a place where there are as low people as possible, just so that you don't feel the judgment of other people, so that the anxiety doesn't spark in you about like, oh, there, so that the anxiety doesn't spark in you and you think, everybody knows I'm on your room. Everybody knows. You don't want that, because that's going to make your anxiety a lot worse. Also, having a friend with you will really help, because your memory might be a little bit foggy, as well as your motor skills, so they'll be able to help give you snacks, lead the way. Also, if you're doing it outside, know the route, know the place, go there beforehand, see the things, plan your route, let people know where you are so you don't get lost. Also, a tip: do not eat the mushrooms on the way there or before you get into the car to go there. Don't drive on this, please. Okay? Rather take it when you are there, because if you are in the car, it can make you a bit more car sick, it can make you really nauseous, it will mess around with your stomach, and then you could throw up and have a bad experience, or have a lower experience or a less powerful experience. So those are my tips for what you need to know in order to prepare for your experience. My next video, I am going to talk about like how to prepare for it on the day. So stay tuned. And if you have any questions, if you have any tips for newcomers, please put them down in the comments below. And thank you so much, everybody, for joining me again. It's wonderful to be here with you. Okay, enjoy your day. Bye.